Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together. Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I'm the great and peaceful Mystery.
And I'm Jay.
And today, we're going to be talking about one we've been promising for a long time.
Oh, have we been now?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Oh, okay.
With the sloth moths. Just kidding. It's the killdeer.
Oh, good. Nice try. I knew you were going to do the killdeer. About time. Freaky Fauna Friday, come alive. It's the killdeer.
So I got, if anybody can't tell, this is one of Jay's favorite animals. They're very, very, very awesome.
It's one of the coolest birds that I know about, that I have a personal relationship with, and I just want to dedicate this episode to our friend Ralph. This is a nice...
I was like a bird biologist.
This is a bird episode.
I'm like, why Ralph?
For Ralph.
I thought we talked to him this weekend or something like that.
I don't know. Anytime birds come up, Ralph is in mind.
So I'm going to let you talk about him a lot here for this episode. Because we did about 2 hours on him on the car ride.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. It's probably the best 2 hours of my life.
But I got 10 quick facts about killdeer.
All right.
And then we could just talk about them for a few minutes. Oh gosh, I don't know if they can hear that, but it sounds like somebody's getting touched with poopy fingers.
Okay, context. The children in the...
It sounds like one of my kids has poopy fingers.
Yeah.
And is touching Emily.
Yes. Your wife.
Yes. I don't know. That was right at the level where they may have heard it or may not have.
I know. I can't tell. Well, anyways, back to killdeer.
The name killdeer is bound to raise some eyebrows, but the species has nothing against Bambi. I really thought when I was a little kid that they either killed deer or when deer died, like they were scavengers on the deer carcass or something like that. Yeah. No idea. Like just because the name, I just was like, oh, they
must be something like that. Yeah, your kid brain, like putting the pieces together.
Interestingly, though, the name is an onomatopoeia, which refers to the bird's piercing calls, which is a shrill killdeer. Killdeer.
Yes.
When it shouts while it's in flight or screeching around your yard.
And they do screech a lot.
In fact, you will often hear a killdeer long, long before you ever see one.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's kind of the first little fact is that killdeer, and me and you looked into that more extensively, it was an old English term. And that, what did it mean? It meant like screaming or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they made the bird roughly makes the kill-D sound.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it. Like you said, onomatopoeia, like boom or
like
whap.
Like Pokemon.
Oh, what do you mean like Pokemon?
How they say their names? Like they're named after the sound they make most of the time.
Oh, okay.
Like squirrel.
Gotcha.
Okay, number 2. The killdeer's loud call has inspired many of its names over the centuries. In the 18th century, naturalists referred to it as the noisy plover or the chattering plover, which plovers are the whole family group of killdeers.
Yes.
Shoreline birds.
That was a fact I didn't know before. Plover. I didn't know they were that was their
group.
Yeah, their group name. They're plovers. That's their type of bird.
And a species in Latin formerly named by Carl Linnaeus in 1758 is voiceverus, which, roughly translates to the shouting or the yelling bird. Which, fair.
And I was going to say, I just looked it up just to confirm that killdeer, the word did mean, which translates to shouting or yelling is the two terms.
Yeah, for the killdee.
Mm-hmm.
Or killdeer, but it's pronounced killdee.
Yep.
In Old English, because you don't pronounce the R in it.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I just happened to pull up another fact.
Well, let me get mine, then you can take over.
Okay.
A killdeer is a type of plover. More specifically, it is part of the ringed plover groups, which include the stout plover, the short-beaked plover, and the snowy and pipping plovers.
Okay.
So these are birds. If you look at pictures of them, they are very, very killdeer-esque, but not quite. Like, they're for a person here in the Midwest or whatever, you'd be like, well, that's a killdeer mimic. That's not quite a killdeer.
Yeah.
It's because there are other types of plover.
Okay.
But they're very closely related. The killdeer is the largest member of this North American group and can be distinguished from its cousins by its 2 wide bands of black across its breast. So it is the biggest of all the plovers in North America.
Okay.
So the plovers are typically tiny. I know if you go up around Lake Erie, you can see a lot of the plovers on the shorelines, and there's like 4 or 5 species, and they're absolutely tiny.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like chickadee size, but with really long legs.
Okay.
Other similar looking species, like now I'm going to try this. The semi-planamid plovers have only one of the black stripes on their breast.
Okay.
So if you're really trying to tell if it's a killdeer or not, like the only time you're really going to have to worry about or try to determine if it's a killdeer or not is if you're closer to water. Because killdeer can be found on the shoreline, like other shoreline birds. The plovers are shoreline birds, but they're one of the only plovers that can be found far away from water sources.
Correct.
So if you see it and you're trying to tell, is that a killdeer? Is that a snowy plover? Is that this, that, or the other? Killdeer are the only one that have that 2 stripes on their breast.
The double black bands, yeah.
And also, they're like 3 times bigger than the rest of them.
Right, that's also another indicator.
Although they are considered shoreline birds, which is my next fact, killdeer are not solely found near the water. In fact, they favor an extremely wide range of open areas, including agricultural fields, tidal flats, pastures, and grass lawns. Out of all of the shoreline birds, they have the most variety in habitat.
That's wild. This part's wild.
The only one that even comes close to them, which is a cousin, not a plover, a cousin would be the woodcock.
Okay.
Which will get his own episode.
Yep.
Did we do an episode on the woodcock?
Not yet, but we briefly mentioned them.
Talked about them on the other show. Which another fascinating shoreline bird, but not tied to the shoreline. As a result, killdeer are often seen feeding and even nesting habitats extremely close to people's, like golf courses, baseball fields, children's playgrounds. And they're famous for disrupting human neighbors' plans in the process.
Oh, yeah.
Like the day you decide, I'm going to go plow that part of the garden, you go out there.
They'll be yelling at you.
I go, no, I guess I'm not plowing that. There's nests there. Next, fact number 5. Invertebrates make up over 90% of their diet.
Oh, wow, okay.
Bugs, worms, those kind of things. These birds love chowing down on everything from beetles to grasshoppers and earthworms and snails. Pay attention to the killdeer when it's foraging. It moves in extreme pattern movements typical of plovers. The birds run a few steps, stop abruptly, tilt their head to look and listen for prey before sizing it up with their bills.
Oh, wow, okay.
And after eating, the birds quickly get back on the move, looking for their next meal. Killdeer have been known to follow tractors that are stirring up insects in their wake. So there's videos of like 50 or 60 killdeer just following like tractors plowing up fields and stuff like that. Another thing they do is they do the tapping to get worms out.
With their feet?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen this before.
Other plovers do it on shorelines to get like mussels and snails and stuff to pop up. To find a mate, killdeer pairs engage in a very stunning display. While on the ground, males and females will both bow to each other, fan their tails, putting on rusty rears in the air.
Oh, okay.
So they have like a plumage underneath their tail feathers. It's almost red, and that's like a flash for breeding displays. The duo then takes the air, where both birds will hover, giving off their great sirening calls and circle each other in slow wing beats. They're one of the few birds where both males and females fight for mates.
Okay.
So if a female tries to come in during this, the female will attack her, vice versa for the male. It's one of the few birds that do that kind of stuff, where both sexes will fight for mates. When you like some of your larger birds, emus and reiforms in general, so like even cassowaries, it's the females that fight for mates.
Okay.
And they'll have a couple males. And it's just interesting that both fight. Next fact, a killdeer nest is notoriously hard to spot. Known as a scrape, it's especially a shallow depression and is almost always lined with some kind of pebble. To build their nest, the females and males engage in what's called a scraping ceremony. The males lower its breast and shapes the ground into a divot. If the female accepts, she'll approach it, take place on the scrape, and while the male puffs up around and calls really loudly. The nests are often built on top of gravel pits, which is a perfect substrate to hide their their speckled eggs. But this camouflage means the killdeer chicks tend to live on the edge, growing up in the risk of locals like roadsides and gravel roads. So the killdeer chicks are like a lot of times in driveways, like right off where the tire normally goes.
Yeah.
So they get ran over a lot.
That's kind of how they are in our driveway.
Getting too close to the nest, a killdeer parent will flex its acting chops and pretend to be an easy meal. A lot of times they'll drop one wing, walk at awkward angles, flop around, and even roll as if they're extremely injured to get whatever predator is getting too close to their eggs to follow them away. And once you get far enough away, they take off. They fly.
They fly away. Yep.
They also have a different display. It's one of the few animals that have what's called an ungulate display.
Okay.
So we talked about this in the car.
Ungulate display.
Yeah, so that's a predatory display to get predators to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't work if you're a cow.
Right.
Because you're just a big stomping thing. So they do this where they shape their body, they scream, and they actually look like a massive snake's head with the mouth open.
They
fold their body in half. So big herbivorous animals like cows and horses especially see this, freak out because it's a snake, and take off the other way.
Yeah. That's what an amazing bird.
So they can tell whether you're a predator or a prey animal. Humans, it seems like they get a little bit of both.
I was going to say, I think I've seen both in my life.
Yeah, I've definitely seen both.
How they've reacted to you?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because I think, but they know of a coyote, they do the one for a coyote and one for a cow. Humans are kind of the both, I guess. Young killdeer can withstand a lot. They're paternal, which means they're able to start running and feeding by themselves within a couple hours of hatching most of the time.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground birds are like this.
When they hatch, though, like in our yard or you see the new ones coming out, it's pretty cool seeing little tiny, just little birds running around the yard.
So, like chickens, woodcocks, a lot of the shore birds, anything that's building a nest on the ground. But then you look at like herons that build nests up in the trees. Their chicks can take sometimes weeks to even, be able to stand and do stuff.
Right.
Eagles take their chicks take a long time.
A lot of birds, really.
Owls, vultures. So it's the habitat that kind of determines whether you're born running or not. And it's the same thing when you talk about larger animals with the predator prey. When a gazelle's born, it's got to be able to run within minutes.
Right, or it's dead. It's going to die.
But lion cubs are, born blind and helpless for weeks.
Right.
Because there's normally lions around. So yeah, they withstand a lot. For killdeer, they end up nesting on roofs, which is very common in cityscapes because they gravel roofs.
That makes sense.
Guess what they do? The chicks and the mom just jump off the roof to get back to the ground. So chicks have been seen with no injuries from 7-story drops.
Wow. Okay.
And this is due to their fluffy, bouncy, capabilities.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't guess their toughness from looking at them, and they just look like a little dainty chick. But their cotton ball and toothpick legs are why they can do this kind of stuff. They tuck into like a ball, hit and bounce.
Wow.
Making them some of the most adorable chicks in the avian world. They do. They look like little tiny cute chickens.
They're awesome, yes.
The last one I have for you is when it comes to their migration. Killdeer are divided into two major groups, the travelers and the homebodies. Some populations breed in Canada, northern United States, and travel south for the winter. And when I say south, I mean south, like South America.
Yeah, they go very, very far.
While others spend their whole year in the southern parts of the country. Interestingly enough, the birds that do migrate skip over or the ones that stay put. So they travel from the north. So the ones that live in nest in Canada are the ones that spend their summers in Mexico and Central America.
So they travel the furthest.
Yeah. So Ohio is right on the line of both. Where we live in our county is kind of, we can have residentials and we can have
migrators.
Yeah. So some of the killdeer in our yards may be from Argentina and stuff like that.
Which is so amazing. I would love to see where they're coming from. Also, you told me...
Let me see if I can find the banding, if there's killdeer bands.
Okay. You said the other day, when we were talking about this or looking them up, that the same ones, they'll come back to the same area as well, too. And killdeer can live up to, what'd you say, how many? 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, I think.
Which is wild. And so for anyone at home listening, where we live, we've had a very, high population of killdeer in our area. I'd say relatively, because they are on the They're not endangered list.
No.
They're on the.
They just got downgraded, or sorry, they got upgraded to near threatened.
So okay.
The last 2 decades, they've lost half their population,
Which is not good.
but it's not fast enough to be classified as endangered or
yes.
threatened.
So we're losing them slowly, but there's still time to change that and protect these birds.
Yeah, I think a big thing is just putting in basically a little nesting habitat.
Mm-hmm. Which I want to do that now. Now that we've learned a little bit more.
Yeah, on the property, we'll put a couple.
And I want to convince like my mom and dad because I wanted to share that too. Where I grew up my whole life, we've had killdeer in our front yard. We have a nice long driveway with a big front yard, just basically just big flat plain grass, where they like to nest apparently. Because I didn't know these were special birds at all growing up. They were just always there. So it was just another bird that I had to deal with growing up. And sometimes they could be scary because they'll scream and yell at you. And sometimes they'll charge you, but sometimes they'll just run away. Sometimes they'll swoop your head. They're fun, but they're really unique, fun, really pretty birds. And I really appreciate them more now than I ever used to. But like I said, growing up, I mean, I don't know how many dozens there would be in the front yard.
This is crazy. Our county is literally split.
Right in the middle?
We have there's a huge circle of residentials in the middle of all of the travelers, and it's Hardin County.
Oh, that's so awesome. So you think these guys might stay like around here year round, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like we're split.
That's pretty cool. That's why I'd be interested to track and see if we can figure this out. Because I may have.
That's us.
Oh, that's so cool. Right in the middle.
That green, right above the orange.
Okay. Knowing they've been here pretty much my whole life, I've been growing up with the same birds and the same families our entire lives. So to me, that's really interesting, and it's a special relationship I guess they've had in our front yard that I'd like to continue to grow and continue to develop. And hopefully, I think I don't know what time the season when they finally start going away.
It's late fall.
So it's coming up here soon.
Late fall, like October.
Okay, I mean still relatively soon. So I would like to get some videos and stuff for you guys. They're one of the few birds
that double nest. So they'll produce an early clutch of eggs, hatch those out. The chicks will hang around mom and dad for a little bit, so the teenagers, while they go ahead and hatch a second clutch,
which is pretty awesome.
So they can bounce back pretty quick. I was trying to look at what people think why their populations declined so much relatively recently, because they've survived a lot of like the other things that have really taken out bird populations. Because there's always been about 2 million of them.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, the last 100 years of high industrialization, that seems to be about the number. Which is they're on 2 different continents, so
it's hard.
They're spread out.
Yeah,
but it's roughly estimated because there's migration counts. People literally just sit there with a clicker and count them as they go, and then they kind of estimate with
based
math.
Off that. Yeah,
because I've had to participate in those, and I'm not a bird person.
Yeah,
I am like a domestic bird person.
Right, you're a big chicken guy.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
because you're just
you don't like counting birds.
No, well, because you gotta.
Yeah, I like looking at them. I don't want to count them.
But what was I saying? Nobody knows why.
Why their population's declining.
There's a couple ideas. The one I seen was loss of nesting habitat, which I don't know if I directly agree with, because where they like to nest is like people's yards, and I don't know. Yeah. I don't think there's anything dramatic when we talk about loss of habitat. They're cutting down the tons of forests. They're cutting like woodcocks. Why their numbers went so down?
Yeah,
is they need a really certain type of forest habitat to reproduce in. That's rare. So their numbers went down. Killdeer breed in driveways and yards, and and they're like pigeons,
right?
Where they've adapted. People think of pigeons as dirty birds. They're great. They're survivors. They went from living in the wild to going right up with humanity.
They're still here.
Yeah. Same with rats. Those kind of animals. Where we have a negative opinion on them, but they are master survivalists.
Still here in abundance.
Yeah. So I don't know why they're going down, but they are going down. So one thing you can do, when me and Jay build some of these, we'll film it and put it on YouTube of how to kind of build preferred nesting areas for these guys. Because you basically just get some really fine gravel, you put it in a pile, you're going to put a little fence around it to keep like raccoons and stuff kind of out. Like, not hard, like where they can't climb over it or nothing because you want the birds to be able to get out.
Right, yeah.
And then you just put a couple of shrubby bushes in there. But you want the rocks. And that's the perfect habitat for them to nest. And you got to put them kind of far away. You can't stack them.
Right, yeah.
Because they are very territorial.
Yep. I'm wondering, I kind of envision, I want to talk to my dad about this because he's like the landscaper at the house.
Yeah.
Of his house.
Out of any of the species I've worked with, they definitely seem like the easiest one to do anything with.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For me, because, I mean,
I just want to
worked with fish and salamanders.
Right.
They need a lot.
I just know they've been coming to my parents' yard since, my entire life till now. So I know they're still going to come here, so to give them more of a better habitat to come to, hopefully they just bring more. I don't know. I just want more killdeer around. That's all.
I mean, there's a number that they're supposed to be at.
Well, I mean, I want the maximum that's comfortable for everyone involved. Nature figures that way. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say let's build some nests. I'll try to get some videos and take some pictures of our personal killdeer in our area for you guys to see. We'll post it on the Facebook page for Cryptids of the Corn. But yeah, a couple of little other facts. You know what a group of killdeer are called?
Oh, what?
A ponderance of plovers.
A ponderance of plovers.
Or a season of killdeer.
I like season better than ponderance.
I just like the wordplay. Ponderance of plovers.
Yeah, but I mean, plovers is the group.
No, I know. It's fun though. And then the other thing you didn't mention that we talked about the other day was that when they are shoreline birds, and what they'll do is they'll get on the shore when they're actually there. They'll kind of anchor themselves to the beach and to the ground and let the water and the waves go over them. And when they're under the water, they'll use their special eyes and look around for all that was like crustaceans. And
it's like
food,
little mussels, clams.
They're looking
snails.
They're
looking
where
they're at
under the sand when the water stirs them up a little bit. So they anchor themselves down. And they look for it. So when the water recedes, then they go right over to it and start eating. So that's pretty amazing. They're amazing little birds. Let's protect them. If you see them, get a picture of them and share it with us. We love killdeer, and their eggs look exactly like little quail eggs. So isn't that nice?
I don't know if exactly like little quail eggs.
I mean, if you see one sitting out, you would say, well, did I drop a quail egg? I bet you would.
No, I'd be like, that's a killdeer egg.
You ever held one? Well, yeah, you have. All right, we'll see.
No, I've never held a killdeer egg.
Yeah, never.
Never
seen
that's
one.
A crime.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's a crime, yes. But as a kid, 20 years ago.
No, we looked at their nest.
Yeah. Oh, actually, when I was in Salt Fork State Park last summer, we were at a festival of banjos and Bigfoot and Banjos festival down there at the park. And where we were set up at our booth, where I was sitting on the edge of the curb, a foot behind me was a killdeer nest, and she had one egg in there.
Was yelling at you the whole time?
The whole time, but we were kind of protecting her and not letting the people walk around mess with her. So I felt like a guardian.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty awesome.
All right. Well, I've been the Great and Peaceful Mystery.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch you next week, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.